Daniel Chuburu, Honorable Ambassador, Embassy of the Argentine Republic, to give a special address. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Good morning. Let me start by thanking Elets for this opportunity of addressing all of you in this issue of health and healthcare systems. It is an honor for me to be present today and to share with you a few remarks on what we do in Argentina with the health system. Let me start by saying that Argentina is an upper middle income country with a population of 44 million, most of whom, more than 90%, live in large cities. In many aspects, we have a highly developed health system, particularly in low and middle income countries' standards. The healthcare system performs well on several key indicators. However, its outcomes lag behind the country's potential. We are one of the leaders in the region with respect to healthcare spending per capita and human development in short. The major health problems in Argentina today are related to both equity and efficiency, and as in many other countries in Latin America. Many of Argentina's healthcare shortcomings arrives from its pluralistic and fragmented system divided into three large sectors: the public sector, social security sector, and private sectors. The public sector, funded by taxes, that means that the health cost for the patient is zero, is decentralized to the provinces, which are equivalent to Indian states, giving the Federal Ministry of Health a narrow but strategic role in national health policy stewardship. Public health funds usually flow from national to provincial and to local budgets. The social security sector is the dominant health sector in Argentina and consists of many different funds. The Obras Sociales Nacionales, which are the ones that administer this system, mostly managed by trade unions, are generally composed of workers within the same labor activity and their core family members. They provide healthcare coverage for more than 14 million people, which means 1/3 of the population. In addition to this, there is one obra social, I refer to the obras sociales as the ones depending of the unions, one for the state unions, for the government unions, and this covers another 7 million people out of the 24 districts that we have. Finally, 5 million elderly, as well as some people with disabilities, are covered by a nationwide social health insurance fund for retired workers. It's called PAMI in Spanish, broadly comparable to the Medicare in the US. Overall, the social insurance sector provides coverage to 60% of the 45 million people that we have. The private sector, the private insurance sector, covers 6 million people, where 4 million come from contracts from these obras sociales for private supplementary plans, and 2 million are enrolled on an individual basis through direct or voluntary prepayments in approximately 200 private insurance or prepaid health plans. The dimensions of universal health coverage as defined by the World Health Organization run along three main axes: the population that is covered by pooled funds, the proportion of direct health costs covered by pooled funds, and the health services covered by those funds. We have achieved many of the universal health coverage goals, and the country already faces some of the challenges of the more developed and mature healthcare systems. Associated with this, we have the pharmaceutical industry. The top labs have developed a pharmaceutical industry that has taken a position of leadership in markets across Latin America. Most dynamic sectors in Argentinian economy is now an engine of economic growth. Domestic pharma industry dominates the international pharma sector in terms of revenue. Argentina is the third largest pharma market in Latin America behind Brazil and Mexico, and market is expected to reach 15 billion by 2020. Local production is in Argentina 85% of the market by volume and 60% share by value, but still imports have risen sharply last times due to inflation. In the case of the relationship between India and Argentina, and I believe that here is something that is very interesting, we have a strong potential of cooperation in the field of nuclear medicine. In the year 2010, India and Argentina had signed an agreement for cooperation in the peaceful uses of nuclear energy, and as a result of that, INVAP, which is an Argentinian company, is working on the fission moly project to build a mobile plant in Mumbai. This plant will primarily focus on creating isotopes for medical purposes. In the opening of our market, in order to consolidate links and cooperation in the field of pharmaceuticals, since 2014, India has been included in what is called the Annex 2 list of countries by a presidential decree that has a mechanism to introduce Indian pharmaceutical drugs in Argentinian markets. We specialize in the production of generic medicines, and for India, this is also a great opportunity as the most important producer of generics in the world. We have also signed another MOU between different agencies in Argentina concerning the exchange of information on procedures for inspection and registration of pharmaceutical products and an efficient communication channels between their counterpart institutions. That is just to bring a little numbers of how our system works and the possibilities of cooperation with India, so as to give you an idea on how we can bilaterally strengthen the relationship in a field of such importance as healthcare.